The RetroTINK 5X is a fantastic device. I've already made some videos on this. I did show off some PS1 3D games and how Scanlines work on it with composite cables, and now I'm going to show off how 2D can look in that same fashion. The game is already put up. I'm already done. Show the clip. Roll the intro. Now, the first title I'm going to show off is, of course, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I actually don't have a ton of experience with this game, but this game is pretty universally liked, I think. Here we are just at the title screen. This is without Scanlines on. I'm going to be swapping back and forth, and now you can see how it looks with the Scanlines on. I'm going to try to not say this for literally every clip, but I pretty much like Scanlines on for literally every clip over having just the direct capture. I'll also show you the next screen, which is not the title screen, but maybe you would call the other one the title screen and this the main menu, since there's a series of like selections that you could have. I guess you'd call it the main menu. I don't know. Now this text on screen, something I really like for text is whenever you do it with Scanlines, it gives it like a little bit of texture. It gives it almost like a gradient, I guess, kind of look to it. If you look at just flat text versus a gradient, I like how that looks. Now, whenever we're actually in game, this, again, how it looks, just normal, no Scanlines. And then I will go ahead and swap over to it with Scanlines. And then maybe we'll do like a split comparison as well. Here's like half of it is one and half of it is another. So you can kind of get a good look at how this is, and I'll do my best to sync it up. I'm not going to be able to do that for like actual gameplay, by the way. Please don't expect that, because I'm not going to be making the same movements. But I will go ahead and start moving and show you some of the gameplay. I think I'll actually probably go ahead and cut to whenever we actually find Dracula. And these portraits, this is something I showed off in the other video. I did show off 2D a little bit, but to be honest, I wasn't really fair to it. I didn't show the content super well in motion or anything like that. I mean, I didn't show it at all. I just showed 2 screenshots, and I was like, here's examples of what Scanlines could do. Now you can actually see it, and you get a feel for this. This is actually like the first time that I've ever played through this game before, and me picking up the holy water, the rainstorm bottle, the whatever this thing is, that was a complete accident. I did a test recording, like just to try to figure out what path I wanted to replicate in both of these runs. Like I did a run and then I went back and did this run, and I was like, okay, these are the spots that I'll hit, and I'll try to have consistency between my Scanline and not Scanline one. And I just kind of like accidentally found it on this recording. The first one I didn't, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, this seems useful. And then man, the text scrolling down definitely gives it a mood that I like a lot better on the Scanline one. Another game I am not incredibly experienced with, Valkyrie Profile. There's quite the bit of white in the profile of this color palette. Does it look any better with Scanlines? I guess, not really. It's pretty plain. That's fine though. Whenever we jump in, we're immediately met with clouds, and you can kind of see this like white wispy haze in the lines of everything that's going on. It's kind of hard to describe, but I'm sure you can see it too. It's almost like there's like a filter on it, or like some people talk about this like Vaseline smeared look that they'll give to like soap operas. It almost kind of looks like that, the way that the light's moving on. It's kind of gone away now, but you can see, you can still see everything's very bright. I haven't really done anything to it. Now, if we go ahead and I'll actually move back to the spot earlier with the Scanlines on, and you could still kind of see what I'm talking about, but it's really hard for me to focus on it, actually. I can't really see it at all. I was not talking about the thin parts of the clouds, by the way. That is not what was going on there. And then the inside of the building, you know, looks pretty good. But our character, look at this. This is something. This is some actual pixel art. I mean, all of it's 2D art. But this is a character that moves. I mean, the clouds are moving. Okay, this... this is a character that we could play as. This is what you want to see, right? You want to see the shading on someone that you could be doing things with. And with the scan lines, it's pretty nice. I don't know that there's a ton of detail changed when having the scan lines on. I do like the overall mood more, though, I think, if that makes any sense. Like, I like how the background looks with this. You can also see that the text looks a little different as we walk across here. And then, hey, an actual scene where we can move. All of that was pre-programmed stuff there. This, all off the top, unique. I am uniquely standing still. And you can kind of get a feel for the differences here. There aren't really any, like, key things to look out for, though. And then, if we move over another character, and on top of that, we get portraits. And this is great. This is another point that we can use to compare. And if we really wanted to get crazy and get even more points to compare, we would move to the next game. Oh boy! Breath of Fire 4, another white backdrop. That's really cool. Also, this backdrop tries to escape from you. So you need to actually go forward a little bit to not let it run away. With Scanlines, I mean, there's not a huge difference. I do dig the look of Scanlines, so I like this more, but nothing game-changing. Now, if we go ahead and move forward, though, as we're making or really just naming our character, you can see the picture of the character. And this is something where we could maybe have a little bit of change going on. I think that if you compare them, you can see some of the aliasing on the character portrait is kind of hidden and smoothed away. Like if you look specifically at around the mouth and chin, the eyebrows, these are good areas to try to look at and see the differences. And I think you can see the difference. Also, the text box obviously looks different, but it's like, whatever. That's not too big of a deal to me. Now, immediately, this sky has got some color banding. This has got some, I wouldn't go as far as to say weirdness going on, but it's got something going on, right? There's some things happening here. I know what they're going for, and with Scanlines, I like what they're going for. I mean, I don't dislike what they're going for whenever I don't have Scanlines on, but I do definitely like the look of any of these blending of color, the gradients. Definitely think looks better whenever you have Scanlines. Check out the other Scanline video. Silent Hill does something very similar to that. I'll go ahead and show like a cutscene, I guess. It's incredibly short. I mean, all this is really very on rails. I'm not really doing anything special here. But you can see some like effects going on and kind of get even better idea of the differences between this. Now, I do want to go ahead and say that I think I showed this off pretty well. I was going to do more games, but this is kind of long and I am kind of just repeating myself while I'm going through this already. So I think adding other games is just going to be more of the same. I'm going to say, hey, Scanlines look good. Isn't that cool? Here's your proof. But you probably already have enough proof. Unless there's any specific games you guys want to see, please feel free to let me know. I've also been thinking about showing off the like full motion video, like game intros and stuff, doing a comparison on those. Because there were definitely some that I've seen like recently that I was like, man, as a kid, I thought this looked better. And you know what? I didn't have Scanlines on whenever I looked at this. I mean, this is before I had my RetroTINK. Anyway, so that would be a good thing of comparison I'm considering. But let me know what you guys want to see, and I will do my best to show you and myself, because I want to see them. Yeah, that's it. That's the video. Good day. Good day. Get out of here. Good day to you, sir, or ma'am, or whatever. Okay, I'm seriously out of here.